Hey guys, it's your boy Arj, but let's cut the BS. Broly. Now yes, I saw this yesterday, I saw how everyone freaked out. And as always, as you'd expect from me, there was more to talk about here than meets the eye. And today I'm gonna give my analysis on what we are seeing, and for anyone who's still new here, let's just say my predictions are not to be taken lightly. Hold on tight, but before we begin, as always, leave your comments down below. If there is any Dragon Ball channel to leave comments on, this is the one, as I actually read and respond. So feel free to ask questions and start this discussion. Before we begin, don't forget to also smash that subscribe button to enter our new Xbox One X giveaway, again sponsored by Bandai Namco. So shout out to them and hit that button now to enter. But moving on. So first things first, yes, here is the poster, and here is that blatant name, Broly. The first question to address here is this fake? Is this a hoax? No, it's not. It really isn't. It isn't April 1st, it's the middle of July. And confirmation of this comes from two places. The first being the actual Dragon Ball Super movie site, which has this poster plastered all over the place. But then we have this comment from Toriyama himself, which if you didn't know, he's been doing recently only for this film, as he is writing the entire thing. And in this comment, he addresses Broly and says the following. Everyone, are you familiar with Broly? He's an incredibly strong Saiyan who only appeared in the old anime movies, and I apparently at least drew some designs for him. But I had practically no involvement with the anime at the time, so I had totally forgotten about the story content. So first to note here, Toriyama is actually known to be famously really bad with memory, even forgetting at one point Goku had a Super Saiyan 3 transformation in interviews. And no, I'm not joking, look it up. But he carries on. So about Broly, I hear these days he's still very popular, not only in Japan but also overseas. Based on that, my editor suggested we have Broly appear in this next movie. Now this is definitely in reference to Broly's recent inclusion in Dragon Ball FighterZ, which along with Bardock was a serious fan propelled development. But he goes on, I went ahead and watched the movies from back then, and I felt this could be quite interesting once I rearranged some things. I got right to work trying my hand at the story that incorporates him into the Dragon Ball Super series. Now this is crazy because he said he's going to try and rearrange some things from the movies he watched. He's not throwing them out in the bin as non-canon as they are, he is literally saying rearrange, meaning certain parts of these movies will now remain and become canon. And I'm pretty sure what exactly that will be, but I'll reference that later in this video, and I'll go more in depth in a series of Broly centered movies coming up, so make sure you're subscribed to keep up with that. Toriyama then says, while keeping in mind Broly's classic image so as to not disappoint his fans, I updated him and added a new side to his character, and I think this has resulted in a more fascinating Broly. Naturally, you'll get to see fierce combat, but also the paths of destiny that lead to an encounter between Goku, Vegeta and Broly. It also involves the Frieza Force and the history of the Saiyans, which end up having a major connection to everything. The story content turns out to be very large scale and dramatic. Interesting again to talk about the involvement of the Frieza Force and Saiyans, and a lot of you would remember my theory about the new Saiyan wearing Frieza Force armor. The same armor seen on this guy in the last Dragon Ball Super movie. I mean, I call it a theory, but it's so plain to the eye, I'm more than certain that this will be just as good as my 17 would win the 10 of power theory. The involvement of Frieza with the back history of the Saiyans, however, is something that I've yet to explore, but I can say now, it has to have everything to do with this frozen planet. The new planet Toriyama has made sure to point out in the past. This planet will be key to everything and will link Frieza to Broly and his appearance. But Toriyama finally closes it off saying, here comes that almighty Saiyan, Broly. I'm also including lots of other content all you fans will enjoy, so look forward to it and be patient a while longer for it to all come together. Now, no real comment on that last bit. Lots of other content could mean anything. It could literally even be a possible teaser slash cliffhanger ending, which opens us up to a confirmed new series of Dragon Ball Super, but don't hold me to that. But now, let's look at that poster once again and talk about what's less noticed. So first thing underrated to notice is that there's a space pod on its own, hurtling not downward but upwards in a ball of fire, indicating the possibility of it moving from somewhere rather than about to land. Now with this point, it's important to remember this movie is supposed to be about ancient Saiyans, and Broly or not, that is not changing. What is meant by ancient Saiyans is that these are Saiyans from before planet Vegeta and before they even landed on planet Plant and renamed it to planet Vegeta. Yes, for all of you who are confused right now, the planet Vegeta was first called planet Plant. And what people also forget is that before they landed on planet Plant, they were on another planet, and that planet is none other than planet Sadala. Yes, both Universe 6 and Universe 7 had a planet Sadala, which they had to leave after a civil war among Saiyans, not the Tuffle Saiyan War which happened on planet Plant. Now it is on planet Sadala that we would expect an ancient Saiyan just like Shallot, who is from Sadala and is wearing Sadala armor. So when Toriyama says he's going to rearrange things, he is quite literally rearranging time, and he's going to make Broly, instead of escaping planet Vegeta before he got destroyed by Frieza, he will be escaping planet Sadala before it got destroyed by the Civil War, and this time in an actual space pod. Now who knows for how long or how far he travelled, when we never really got an idea of how the power consumptions of these ships even work, but more than likely he crash landed a long time ago, and more than likely it was on this icy planet. Now this is probably another piece of story Toriyama will rearrange from the second Broly movie, where Broly did crash land and then remained frozen for 7 whole years. Except I'm thinking Toriyama is going to go down the classic Futurama route of Broly being frozen for thousands to millions of years after his spaceship crash lands, and the heat of the fire on this ship causes the ice around him to melt to water, which covers him before eventually freezing with him unconscious. Now back to the poster, what else is there that no one's looked at? Well, look at the bottom and we see Broly, and this time pupilless. Now it's interesting, as in the trailer we obviously saw him with those iconic yellow eyes with the black pupils, which of course was a clue to us about how Toriyama is going to redesign Broly, but this was also while Broly was powering up with that green key. So when we see this new picture of Broly at the bottom, this must be when he's about to or reaches his final form of Broly, the form we all know has no pupils and has a key which is bang on colour for colour, the same as this strange yellow green key we see here, which perfectly fits with where Toriyama says he will keep in mind Broly's classic image, meaning the final product of Broly will most likely definitely have all of the defining features of Broly, including those eyes, and more than likely will have a similar calm, unassuming appearance while in base form, as we saw from past movies and most recently with Kale. As for the rest of this poster, sure, Goku and Vegeta look epic in Super Saiyan Blue. Their hair does look a little bit darker than usual, but that's probably just the lighting. But these cool light effects surrounding their silhouettes remind me of Ultra Instinct, and maybe how Vegeta and Goku's auras in God form now look, which would be a welcome change. But other than that, not a lot more to say. But yeah guys, that was it for my first initial thoughts on this, outlining a few things here regarding what Toriyama has said, how Broly's story will change and if it's even real. But trust me, this is a big talking point, and there's going to be a load more of videos that I will make on this very soon. So stay tuned and leave your comments down below about your own theories, ideas and reactions to Broly, as I will be reading and replying, so have your say now. But before you go, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to enter our Xbox One X giveaway with a copy of Dragon Ball FighterZ, all sponsored by Bandai Namco. One click and you're in, so get that done now and join the gang today. Until next video guys, cheers.